So my answer to, anyone who says this isn't happening is no, it is happening. They did the single most important thing they could do, which is expand the membership. I expect they'll expand it again next year. And at that point, they'll probably be ready to launch a BRICS currency as a trading currency with a larger group. That's what makes it viable. And then eventually move to reserve currency. For that, you need a bond market. That's a separate issue. But when you look at the euro, it didn't happen overnight. You could say it took 50 years going back to the European Steel and Coal Union. But even if you take the Maastricht Treaty, which said we're going to have a euro, that was 1991 or 92. I think it was maybe might have been 92. But in any case, the interbank euro, the kind of digital euro, if you will, was launched in 1999. And then the euro you could put in your wallet or purse and walk around on the high street and spend it was 2000. So that took 8 years to develop and work. And I knew people worked on that project, some of the top Italian economists, and they had a lot of problems to solve. And the biggest single one, of course, is what exchange rate are we going to use for French francs and Italian lira? And they were fighting over that. But there were a lot of technical issues. How does the ECB work, et cetera? So I'm like, okay, if the smartest people in the world took 8 years to launch a currency that was pretty much bound to succeed, let's give the BRICS a break and give them a few more years. So it's happening. As I say, the fact that they didn't announce it doesn't mean it's not happening. They actually did the more important thing, which is expand the membership. Now, just to wrap up on this, Brian, this gets interpreted, and I disagree with this interpretation, as here comes the BRICS currency. It's the end of the dollar. The dollar is dead, et cetera, et cetera. That's not how major reserve currencies trade places. It's not how it works. And if you want a model, look at sterling. So sterling, you can pick the month and almost the day when the demise of sterling as a leading reserve currency began. It was November 1914. Why do I say November 1914? Well, World War I obviously was a factor. So at the beginning of World War I, so the August 1914, what happened? Everybody in all the combatants, all the belligerents in Europe froze their gold. They wouldn't let no gold exports, no gold's getting out of the country. The one country that said, no, we're going to continue to have a gold market. You can buy and sell gold. We're not suspending transactions in gold, was the UK. And that was on the advice of John Maynard Keynes, who's got this reputation, undeserved reputation as this gold hater. He really, really understood gold better than any of his contemporaries. The Exchequer wanted to freeze gold, just like all the other belligerents. And Keynes said, no. He said, you're not going to win this war with money, and you're not going to win this war with gold. You're going to win this war with credit. It's the ability to borrow money and issue currency that's going to win the war. And so and if you suspend gold, you'll destroy the credit. So keep the gold window open, and we'll borrow our way to victory. Of course, 20 million dead. I'm not gainsaying what happened on the battlefield, but Keynes was right. And Pierpont Morgan, Jack Morgan, Pierpont's son, Jack Morgan organized $100 million bond issues back when $100 million was real money, $100 million bond issues for the UK and France, and nothing for Germany. The House of Morgan did not raise a penny for Germany. And of course, they won the war because they could continue feeding their people, et cetera. But initially, what happened was all the belligerents, Germany included, but Germany, Italy, Belgium, UK, France, they sold all their assets, many of which were in the United States, to get cash to fight the war. But sooner than later, they were like, okay, now we sold everything, but now we need stuff. We need clothing, we need ammunition, we need food, we need other forms of armaments, et cetera. And they bought them from the United States. And in those days, you settled up your trade deficit in gold. So the first move was get all the gold back, and then they sold stocks and other assets, get all the cash and gold back. But then the second move was, oh, gee, now we got to buy stuff. So we got to give the gold back to the United States to pay for stuff. So when did that flow reverse? All the gold was going to the UK and the other belligerents. And then gradually, sooner than later, the gold went back to the United States to pay for the war. When did that happen? The answer is November 1914. That's when, between August and November, that's when the flow reversed. From then on, sterling was in decline. Now, when was the final nail in the coffin? Like, hey, sterling, nice job, but you're an also ran this king dollar from now on. The answer is July 1944, Bretton Woods. But that took 30 years. And that's my point. And Barry Eichengreen has done great studies in the 1920s. And I kind of disagree with his conclusions about gold, but there's no denying the quality of his research. He dug out records that were very hard to find. And what he showed was that the 20s were a horse race in terms of percentage of global reserves. So the dollar would get ahead, then sterling would come back, and the dollar would get ahead and sterling come back. But a lot of the sterling accumulation was the Commonwealth because they didn't have much choice. The Whitehall just said to Australia, you got to take our money and keep sending us food.
So it takes time is your point. It takes time.
Right. So correct. So what I expect, just to wrap up, is that the BRICS will launch their currency in the coming years. Now, it's not going to take 9 years, but it might take 2 or 3. And when it's on the stage, it'll have a big role, but it's not the end of the dollar. It just kind of pushes the dollar a little bit to one side. And it may take a long time for the dollar to, I doubt it'll ever be reduced to the level of, I don't know what, Zimbabwe. But I'm not calling for the end of the dollar. What I'm saying is the BRICS currency is going to make its way onto the stage and play a big role. And that's going to really diminish the power of the United States. Your military and your diplomacy is only as good as your money.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public. And he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.